everybody. How's it going? Um, so I got something I want to share with you again, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. It's about a vision that God gave me a while back, right? And it started off in the wild, and there was all these fir trees, and they were blowing in the wind left and right. And everything was connected. Everything was beautiful. Excuse me, as it was meant to be, right? And then along comes a man with an axe. And he chops down this beautiful 6-foot tree, right? And he drags it all the way back to his house. Now, in his house and his front room, he's prepared this pot for this tree. And he rams this tree into the pot, right? And he packs all this soil around it and big stones so it doesn't fall over. And he stands back from the tree and he looks at it and goes, oh, yeah, that's beautiful. And he smells it, that Christmas tree smell, right? There's nothing that beats that, right? It fills the room. And he stands back and goes, wow, beautiful, but there's something missing. He goes off and he comes back with a bunch of this stuff, right? Tinsel and lights and baubles, and he wraps the tree up in it. And he stands back again and he turns the lights of his room off and he turns the Christmas tree lights on, and it's sparkling and blinking like this. It's just beautiful. He goes, oh yeah, this is a good one this year. Now that night, he'd invited his friends to come for dinner, right? And so his mates come for dinner. And the first thing they say when they come in the room, right, is like, whoa, that's a beautiful Christmas tree, man. You got a good one this year. Oh, smell that. It smells so good. And so they sit down and they eat the dinner that night, right? And every now and again, they look over at the Christmas tree and everybody thinks, oh, wow, beautiful. Anyway, his friends go home that night. Next morning, the man wakes up, turns the Christmas tree lights on again. Everything's beautiful still. But we all know what happens next, don't we? Right? The story. We know what's coming. A week goes by. The needles start to drop off the tree. Right? The man thinks to himself, it's just a few needles. It's got some life left in it yet, right? So he gets out his hoover and hoovers up the needles. No problems. It still looks like everything's cool, right? There's no needles on the floor anymore. No one knows but me, right? Another week goes by. Suddenly it's not starting to smell so fresh anymore, right? It smells musty and a bit disgusting. And there's even more needles falling off every moment of the day. You just nudge it a little bit and tons of these needles fall off. It's like a shower of needles. And he thinks to himself, there's only one thing for it. Takes all the tinsel off again. Puts it back in the box for next year. Drags the tree outside and chops it up. Now, this is what God said to me about this, right? He said, James, the whole time, even when that Christmas tree looked good, it was away from its source and it was slowly dying. And he said, people can be like that too. When they're away from me, they're slowly dying, right? And you can look good to everybody else from the outside. People might come up to you and go, ooh, wow, look at what you're doing. Look at the ministry. Wow, so successful. Well done. Look at you. But the whole time, you're slowly dying and you know it, right? So this is my question for you, right? Is how are you doing right now with God? Have you been dragged away from your source? Have you stepped away from your source yourself for the sake of tinsel and light and glamour? Right? We're not designed to be wrapped up in this stuff. There's nothing that beats the beauty of us in the secret place in the wild with God. We can be in the secret place with God in a crowded room. It's not just about getting away with God for 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. No, it's the position of our hearts as we focus in on Him no matter what we're doing, no matter where we are. That's what we're hardwired for. That's what we crave more than anything. So ask yourself today, are you wrapped up in this stuff? What's the point in this? Right? When we can have something that's real. So I want to encourage you guys to think about where you're at right now. And I would love to hear back from you what God is speaking to you about this. All right. Anyway, hope you have a great week. And God is calling you back to Him always. Okay. So it's up to you to respond. All right. God bless you.